Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this one, I'm going to be talking about Daredevil Born Again Season 2, the finale episode 8, The Southern Star. So with this episode, Daredevil Season 2 has come to an end, and this video will contain spoilers for Daredevil, even the previous season. So yeah, if you have not watched it, you should check it out first. So with that being said, the spoiler-free thing that I would say about this episode is it was a good finale overall, but a bit more on the theatrical side of stuff. But still, I liked it. I won't complain that much. Now, all right, let's get into the episode. So the episode starts with the recap and the theme plays. Nothing happens before the theme song, and the episode starts with Kiran reminiscing about the Indian place Matt and Kiran used to go to, which was, shown in the, I think, first season of Daredevil. So yeah, she was thinking about it, but she was in the courtroom, and Matt is not there yet. And if you don't remember, Matt got shot in his knees or in that region by the ABTF members. So yeah, he was not there due to that reason. And McDuffie says that we should just continue. Matt will join us soon. I mean, all right, let's get it out of the way right now. I mean, there might be some legal inconsistencies, so I won't get into that. I will just talk about the show. So yeah, she just says that, and the court proceedings begin, and then we switch to Matt. So Jessica is helping Matt recover with, cleaning the wound and whatnot. So, by the way, Jessica was brought into this episode for what exactly? Just stay in the court. I mean, yeah, she helped with the AVTF fight scene that happened later on, but I mean, I don't get why it was necessary to get in Jessica Jones here. I mean, they could have simply just done this with Daredevil, but I guess, why not Christian Ritter? So yeah, it's all right. I won't complain about that. So yeah, she basically helped Matt clean the wound and whatnot, and Matt gets to the court. Then we see that Buck is discussing with Kingpin that he did not kill BB because Daniel didn't bring her in, and he does not seem quite happy about it, and neither does Fitz. They were like, good guy, tough luck. I mean, I would have liked him to be around, but he didn't do what he was supposed to, so he died. So yeah, that happened, and Kingpin talks with Buck about something, but we are not shown what it exactly is. At first, I thought it was a resignation letter, but then we see that later on in the episode that he quite clearly says that he's not leaving a lot of time. So it probably was not a resignation, but maybe kind of an emergency declaring by him. But we don't know what it was. Of course, it was not emergency because now that Fisk has left New York, so God knows what it was. So yeah, then we go back to the court. Matt walks in late and he just objects in the middle of the questioning that's going on. But yeah, that happens. And by the way, if the lawyer or the parties are not attending the court proceedings, sometimes they can give an ex parte order, which is like if the second party is missing, they can just declare their decision without hearing them out, which has its own technicalities and whatnot. But yeah, just saying because why not? So yeah, that happens. Then we see that he calls in Wilson Fisk to the courtroom. So this is the first time that we are seeing Wilson in the courtroom with Matt. We have not seen this in the show, but I think in Spectacular Spider-Man or the earlier version of the animated show, we saw how Kingpin became Kingpin. It was, Kingpin was in a courtroom and he was jailed because he was so fat he couldn't climb a fence or something, and his father just abandoned him. So yeah, he went to jail that time. But just I'm giving you the reference of what it could have been. So yeah, that happens. Then we get a season 3 throwback kind of, because we see a bullseye versus bullseye here. So Kingpin is, expert in framing others. So he used this in season 3 by using Wilson as, I'm sorry, Bullseye as the Daredevil to frame him for the murder of the witness, and yeah, he attacked the bulletin as well in the Daredevil outfit. So he does the same thing here. Oh, it was probably just, Wilson handing out the kill letter to Buck that, hire a bullseye that will kill the guy. So yeah, basically Bullseye and the fake Bullseye fight with each other, and obviously he's not beating Bullseye. Come on. So yeah, he just kills them with ease, no big problem for him, and yeah, he takes his spot. So it was kind of nice to see this callback. Then we see we are back at court, and a lot of arguments and whatnot going on. And after a long time, Heather and Matt talk. So Matt questions Heather as well, which we see that by the why is someone's written book is being used as evidence that you have written this in your book. Come on, it's her personal opinion, but maybe it's admissible. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's just move on. So yeah, Matt says that he has the video of the first mate of Northern Star, as we saw in the previous episode that they did record a video and then sent him on his way and he got killed. But yeah, not everybody knows that he got killed. He just disappeared. So they try to admit that video footage in the evidence, but uh, oh, and yeah, the opposition definitely, s- objects against it, that you can't just bring in this evidence, because basically you need to provide the evidence generally beforehand so that the defense can prepare for it as well. But yeah, the judges suddenly grow a spine, like the whole series, season 1 2, they were like, Okay, Fisk told us we'll just, rule in his favor, we'll not do anything about ABTF." And suddenly they're like, okay, bring in the evidence, we don't mind. Okay, we will dismiss the case. Like what? You were so scared of Fisk like a few episodes ago, and suddenly now you are okay with standing up to him. I mean, good for them, I guess. So yeah, that happens, and the testimony is played on the video testimony is played on the screen, and everybody sees that the first mate says that Kingpin ordered us to bring in illegal weapons and all that stuff. And now we see that, oh, and while the Daredevil was, asking the judge if he could use it as evidence, a very cool scene where Kingpin's just, whispers to himself that, I can say a lot of stuff here that you would not like. And he knows that Matt has the hearing. So he just, he speaks so lightly that only Matt can hear it and not anybody else. So yeah, that was a cool detail there, which most of the people don't know, because Powell on his radio just said that, yeah, give Bullseye the orders. What a stupid guy. But yeah, that happened. And okay, getting back to it, Matt questions Kingpin that did he know what he was bringing? Was it illegal weapons and that kind of stuff? Now his counselor says to him, "You don't have to answer that." And Kingpin, being Kingpin, he just lets his rage take over him, and he says, "What I bring into my port is none of your business." And you know that this whole thing is being publicly televised, as we saw in the previous episode. So yeah, he's not the favorite guy amongst the common populace. So, and then he says this. So Kingpin's rage takes him down, because if he would have just listened and ignored the fact that Matt is asking him to give himself up, basically, he would have been fine. Although I would like to talk about the ending as well, but let's move one step at a time. So yeah, seeing this, Matt basically says, so Daredevil was on the ship, so he would be a proper witness. So you would, accept what he has to say, and then he comes out in front of court and says, "I am Daredevil." Kingpin says something like, "You are a fool," and he says, "No, I'm Daredevil." Does the Iron Man stuff. He turns to the cameras with a big grin on his face. So yeah, that was cool. So yeah, uh, Matt comes out as Daredevil, and by the way, Karen is very lucky. I just have to say it because if Matt would not have given up his secret identity, she would probably have been sentenced. And Bro is fighting like 6'6" giant monster for her. So some props to Matt as well. So yeah, that happens, and everything just comes falling down at once for Kingpin. Like the governor is saying that we are going to remove you. The attorney general is calling him. The judges have dismissed the case because why not? They have balls now. So yeah, and the fake bullseye got killed. So everything that Kingpin had planned started falling down. Like we have seen in the previous seasons, like everything falls down at once. So yeah, that same thing happened here, but this time it was a little different because earlier it was like that happens, he's gone to jail. But this time it was like halfway through the episode. We still have like 20 minutes to go. So we see that Kingpin does not just give up and sits there like, oh, well, you got me. Nothing like that. So we see that Kingpin and both Daredevil has left the court now, and they are walking over. And Powell says that we are coming out. Get ready with your shot and whatever. And Bullseye says not the right guy or whatever. Why would you say that, by the way? If you are trying to kill Fisk and you say that, it will obviously tip him off. So why would you do that? Just take your shot. But whatever. That happens. Buck gets shot in the abdomen. You know, good. He killed Daniel, and he's been basically killing everyone. So yeah, good for him. He got shot. Then we see that everyone is rushed in. People are panicking. Daredevil, Governor, Karen, and Jessica are in one room, and Kingpin and his team is in another. And he's basically in the courtroom, I guess, and he's sitting on the judge's chair, and he you know addresses the whole city. So kind of like portraying Kingpin as a judge at this point. He decides what goes, what not, and he's like kind of all powerful right now. And even throughout the whole season or even the previous season, we have been shown like Kingpin from a lower angle, like he's some big entity. And David versus Goliath kind of stuff. Like Daredevil is always shot from above, whereas Kingpin is shot from below. So yeah, that's something I noticed. So yeah, that happens. Kingpin addresses the whole city that this city is under siege. I will take control. I will not leave you. Yada yada yada. And at the same time, BB reports comes out like how can you like edit it so fast? But you're just sitting in the Kingpin outfit, ready to say that. But yeah, she says that, and then she says that Kingpin has killed people. He's the one we should be afraid from. He's the one causing the siege, and yeah. So basically, she turned people against him, and again we see that people wear their vigilante masks, and they basically rush into the courthouse, whatever it is. So at first, Powell is standing between, the public and the gate, and he says that if anyone comes forward, I will simply shoot you. And we see the good police force, which nobody really cares about. Cherry was maybe somewhat a decent character, but no real growth there. And yeah, basically those guys come to the front and say, "Come on, just let us in." And he says, "What are you, joking me? How can I do that?" And yeah, White Tigers comes in, the Eva Ayala, the niece or whatever, and Cole sees that the guy with the half burnt face. So even in the comics, he redeems himself, and here the same thing happens because he even saw in the last episode that Powell killed that young boy cold-blooded, and said vigilantes killed him. So he was having his doubts, from the previous episode itself. But yeah, in this one, he basically knocks out Powell and he lets them in. So that happens. And Kingpin now openly, says that Daredevil and Kieran Page should not leave this building alive. So, he has openly said it in front of like 20, 30 witnesses, which he kind of did the same in the last season as well when he, just squished the head of Commissioner Gallo. So I guess he can say this in front of them because no one will really testify against him because they are just so scared of him or whatever. So yeah, he orders them, and now we are shown that both the sides have their armies. So Daredevil has his protesters and Kingpin has his AVTF, and both of them move from each side, breaking the armies. By the way, Kingpin is like really strong guy. He just broke someone's back, punched someone through the door, and yeah, basically he's a really powerful guy. Daredevil, it just goes to show how strong Matt is really, because even after being, way smaller than him and way lighter than him, he manages to beat Kingpin. So that's something. So yeah, both the sides fight each other. Again, we see Kingpin on the upper side, whereas Daredevil on the lower side of the room, and the mob rushes him. So, and you can't control a mob because it's like it's not a single person that you can hold accountable. It's like hundreds of people doing it. How are you going to, stop them? But luckily, Daredevil was there and he was the whole symbol of the resistance. So he luckily gets to stop the mob, which is, not highly likely in normal situation. But we are watching a comic book show, so yeah, that happens. And basically people abandoned him, like in the third season of Daredevil. He says that I beat you, this city rejects you. So this was like the city rejecting Kingpin. We have never seen Kingpin fight anyone other than Matt like that, like openly. I mean, he has fought the Russians and all those people, but like we see him hold his own against like so many people for a very long time. So yeah, he's a strong guy. So we see that. And then we see Daredevil trying to convince Kingpin again, like he tried in the sixth episode, I guess. So, and the again, the foggy line comes in: grace, not retribution. Or, this is vengeance, not justice, because if people kill him, that would be just vengeance. But again, we'll get to that, the justice part later on. So the attorney general basically offers him that if you leave the city and never come back, you will, not face any jail time or whatever. What? Like, why? This guy has killed people. This guy is a mobster. He has dealt drugs, operated cartels, whatnot. You name it, he probably has done that crime. And you are just saying, just leave the city. Like, why? Why would you do that? But, Kingpin gets away scot-free. He accepts the deal, although he was very reluctant. And we see that he kind of understands that it would be better if he just left the city, because at the end of the day, they both really loved the city and just wanted to make it better. They both had different ways to go about it, but their end goal was the same thing. So, yeah. He accepts it. He says to Matt that I hope you will understand if I don't shake your hand, as they shook hands in the third season as well. Like, yeah, it's a deal. I will stay in jail and whatever. So, yeah, that happened. Then now we are in the closing segment of the episode. So Daredevil has been arrested. He got to spend some time with Karen in the Indian place, and it's good to see them back together. Like, yeah, go for it, guys. After like I don't know, season one they had a decent relationship. Season two was all right, I guess, but Matt was quite absent. And season three, she knows about his truth, but still they have a lot of differences among their ideologies, like if they should kill Kingpin or not. And Matt tries to avoid them. in the fourth season she was basically missing till the last episode. So it's good to see them back together. So yeah, Daredevil basically sacrifices himself for the greater good. If it uh, keeps Kingpin away from New York, like I'm ready to hang up my mask type of stuff. Then we are shown that Luke Cage is back with Jessica Jones. So the Daniel was Luke and Jessica's daughter. So we see that now he's done with Charles, he says, and Charles are now taken in Bullseye, and he works for Valentina. So I guess Valentina is making another team because in the Thunderbolts we saw that the new Avengers said that we own you now. So I guess she's just trying to, get back in her position of power, I guess. Because in the Thunderbolts movie, if you remember, she says that, you know, without power, uh, righteousness is just an opinion or something like that. So she does not like the position she's in right now and trying to assemble a new team. So I guess that's what's happening here. And Charles hires Bullseye, which, you know what, good for him, even though he was such a not great guy in the previous season. But I kind of like him now, in the especially from the first season of Born Again when he says to Matt that maybe in another life you will be defending me because they didn't that what good people do. So he's kind of likable now, doing the right thing. So even if it is kind of twisted in a way, but good for him. I'm happy with that as well. So yeah, that's what happened with Luke Cage. Now BB joins Bulletin with the bald guy. I can't remember his name. Was it Elliot or something? I guess. And they are bringing back the OGs. We even see Brett Mahoney in this episode. So they are bringing back the OG characters. We got Karen, we got Brett, we got the news guy, and well, the Kingpin is gone. But most of the original cast is kind of back right now. So that's a win. I will take that. So yeah, BB joins the bulletin where his uncle used to work or Karen used to. Maybe she still does, or she will later on. I'm not sure what will happen. But yeah, we see Heather becoming news, so that was kind of obvious. It has been like being set up since the last season. After her encounter with Muse, she has gotten completely twisted in her mind, and even from the beginning of this season, she was like messing up with the test results, beating the shit out of Karen, and all the evil stuff. So yeah, she's becoming Muse. By the way, I don't know what she will do because I mean, yeah, she kind of uh, choked the Hawk or whatever his name was. I can't remember it. So yeah, but still, she is not that big in size, nor she has any previous, formal training, nor she's a mutant or anything like that. So she's just a human. So I don't know how threatening she will be, but sure. Yeah, Heather becomes Muse. AVTF is in the jail as well with Matt. I guess we will see that happen, unfold in the third season of Daredevil, how Matt deals with this stuff. And the original creators of I mean the show, they have their own podcast, and they were basically talking about that they won't be doing a buyback. Like now that Matt's identity is revealed, we won't just make it happen like what happened with Spider-Man, that people will not forget. This will have an impact on season 3. So let's see how that goes. uh, we will surely have some problems with the AVTF. And Kingpin is on a beach. He talked to Vanessa about this in the fifth or fourth episode. Like, why not we go to a beach, get away from all this stuff. So he's back there. And again, I said this before, but why does Kingpin get to be free? You know, sure, yeah, that happens. We don't get any post-credit scenes for season 3 here. And that's the end of season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. If I would have to rate it out of 5, I would say it's like a 3 on 5. 3 is like being generous. There was quite a lot of lows as well here. But I'm willing to forgive those things. They kind of landed the ending, and they are at least on the right track. It's like a kid, a stupid kid trying to do better. I mean, objectively, he's still, mid, but, if you really think about it, they have done a lot better than what they did in the first season. So, you know, I will give them another chance in season three. I'm excited for it. Now, for season three, what I feel like will happen is we will get all right, and this could be spoilers because there were some set images that were leaked as well. I mean, I have not, completely kept up with it, but it's basically Luke Cage becoming a mayor, I suppose. Luke is back, and in the comics as well, it happens that Luke becomes the mayor after Kingpin trying to fix the damage that Kingpin has done. And the set images we see Luke Cage there, so he will play a part in it. And even the producers said that if people have read the comics, they can, get a hint that what will happen in season three. So it will probably revolve around Luke having to deal with the New York after Daredevil is gone, and the power is up for grabs. Everyone would be trying to replace Kingpin, and Matt is not there to protect the city. Matt will be dealing with his jail problems or whatever. So I feel like that's the path they might take. I mean, this is just a theory, what I think might happen. So yeah, I guess that's it. So we are done with Daredevil Born Again. Now we will have one less thing to watch on Wednesday, which is kind of sad, but everything comes to an end. So yeah, but that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Let me know if I missed anything. Bye bye.